I know this might sound crazy and people might not believe this, but I've actually never downloaded a dating app. But apparently they're fucking awful. People hate dating apps now.
So the other day I was thinking about dating apps, right? And I was wondering how they were getting on. And it turns out that they are not doing great.
Jesus. I mean, again, like, I do feel like this is, again, COVID. This is like a COVID readjustment. I mean, these are effectively tech companies, and a lot of tech companies have had this happen.
Bumble's actually down 92% since it first went public. And Match Group, the company which owns basically every other dating app,
This is legal? Wait, what the hell? This looks like a monopoly to me. What the fuck?
is doing pretty badly as well.
Wow.
People are falling out of love with dating apps. And this is affecting Gen Z in particular, who are becoming less likely to spend money on the apps. In fact, Forbes Health ran a survey and found that 79% of Gen Z respondents had reported experiencing some form of dating app burnout.
Yeah, see, here's the problem, right? Is that if you're on dating apps, if you're a girl, like, I've seen girls' dating app matches, and it's like, this can be like a 21-year-old girl, and every 45-year-old dude that owns a Camaro is matching with her. And he's like, yeah, I got 3 kids. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I've got like 5 bumper stickers on my truck about Trump. Like, it's just, you know, all this other stuff, right? You know, the wraparound sunglasses, it's fucked. Yeah, and like, they'll message these girls and they'll say weird shit. And then, like, if you're a guy, it's really hard for you to get matches unless you're like probably top 10, 20% of like attractability. It's bad, man. So like, there's just different problems that like men and women run into. Like, it's not like they have the same problems, but they both have problems. And it's also become pay to win, too.
You might have even seen that the companies have resorted to some interesting marketing techniques. For example, Bumble got in trouble for some ads that they ran trying to convince women to no longer be celibate, I guess.
You know full well if celibacy isn't the answer. What's wrong with it? I just... Jesus Christ, professional problem havers. Who the fuck cares? It's weird. I mean, why? I don't. Maybe a little bit, but like, is it worth getting upset about or putting an apology out for? I don't think so.
Too happy with these adverts.
Yeah.
Now, this is a far cry from the promise that dating apps made for us. When they first launched, it would be difficult to believe that around a decade later, they'd be launching $500 a month membership programs.
I could believe that. Yeah, I could easily fucking believe that. Because it's like, of course you want to do that. What the fuck? Well, it's just conspicuous consumption, so people that make a lot of money can, you know, find women that want guys that make a lot of money. It's that simple. Are people that desperate? And then there's also, like, the thing is that people generally want to date inside of their income stratosphere. Like, obviously, for guys, it's like, you know, culturally, right? It's like more acceptable, like, the guy makes more money than the woman. But, like, men and women both want to date somebody who earns around the same amount of money that they do, right? So there isn't the perspective worry of an ulterior motive. I mean, it just logically makes sense, right?
We tried to understand how we ended up here. We maybe can come to some interesting conclusions, not just about these apps, but maybe about human relationships more broadly and the assumptions that we might make about each other.
Yeah.
The first thing that's worth explaining is that the decline of these apps is in large part a signal of broader trends in technology.
Yeah.
There's this idea of enshittification, the phenomenon of online platforms degrading the quality of their services.
You know what the Twitch app is? The best fucking example of this. The Twitch app is so fucking bad for this. And shitification, yep.
Over time, leading to an overall decline in user satisfaction and overall value. This is something that's really broad across technology. It is best characterized through Airbnb, starting initially as a promised land where you could rent out a spare room at the fraction of the cost of a hotel, but ending up in a situation where people are paying $200 cleaning fees and have curfews and service fees for a rental. The most
Yeah,
egregious.
and this is always how it is. It's the same as DoorDash or something like that. It's like, oh, it's $5 delivery. Well, what about the service fee? What about the tip? What about the transaction fee? What about the delivery fee? It's like, how do you have a service? How do you have a service fee, a delivery fee, and a transaction fee? Get the fuck out of here. And then that's not even counting a tip. Yes. Oh my God.
Just example of enshittification is
Yeah.
BMW, who in 2022 launched a subscription to just unlock the heated seats that were already in the car.
Crazy. This makes me so mad because like it should be illegal to do that. Like it just be legal. Like why are you doing this? Like there's no reason to do this. Going backwards, yes. It's so stupid. It is.
Dating apps are not immune to this problem, as fundamentally they are technology companies. The most obvious manifestation of this enshittification is the idea that subscriptions are king. I don't know if you know this, but Tinder actually has 3 separate subscription options on top of the $500 a month subscription plan. These look more like
Tinder, Tinder Plus, Tinder Gold, Tinder Platinum. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of OnlyFans girls or Fansly or Patreon girls and like their different tiers of like, okay, this one you get personalized videos. This one you get one-on-one messaging. This one you get, you know, like everything else, right? This is nuts, man.
like insurance plans than dating apps. Dating apps have not become immune from this subscription mania, and their monetization strategy has led to them feeling more like a gacha game. If you don't know what a gacha game is, it's a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Game that uses like a loot box mechanic where players buy in-game currency and use it to gamble effectively. In fact, Tinder actually rolled out its own in-app currency that you could use to buy special features that would increase your chance of finding love.
Yes, skip the line, be the top profile in your area for 30 minutes to get more Oh my God. Bro, this is nuts.
It's a very overt shift towards gamification, towards implementing game-like mechanics in a non-gaming environment.
Yeah.
The literal CEO of the parent company of Tinder is a man named Bernard Kim, who was the former president of Zynga. If you don't know
They make games.
who Zynga are, they are the company that is responsible for all of the worst mobile games.
That's crazy. Wow. What a coincidence. Damn. How about that?
You know, the ones that look like this, right? And it's no surprise that these mechanics have been transferred directly from mobile games, which are some of the most addictive games in the world,
Of course.
to dating apps. This idea of gamification, broadly put, is simply just driving engagement and driving usership, not by providing a service, but by hijacking your brain's reward circuitry and making you addicted to the app rather than enjoying the app. As these apps have become increasingly gamified, people have responded much how they would respond to...
I think that they're just trying to figure out ways to make more money off of people. I don't even think that we need to go into like psychology for this. It's just like, okay, we're going to put all of these ankle weights on you so you can pay us to take them off, right? Like that's it. It's the same as everything else.
An actual game by trying to exploit the mechanics of the game. In the world of dating, this manifests as hinge hacks. So there's this whole world on TikTok, which I didn't know about, of people sharing techniques and tips that you can use to make your experience of using dating apps a little better. Some of these things include refreshing your Hinge feed by threatening to delete your account, which supposedly flags Hinge and makes you way more...
Jesus Christ. I didn't realize how down bad people are. Is it really this bad, guys? This is crazy. It's, oh my God. What the fuck, man? This is crazy. I didn't know this at all.
Other people's feed. Other people's decisions have been things like choosing to use AI wingmen to create a profile that is optimized for these algorithms.
Oh God. Yeah, so people were talking about how they wanted to make AI versions of themselves to talk with people so they could filter out bad matches. It's just it's just this is really something special.
Certification isn't necessarily a complete explanation, though, because despite the fact that many other services in technology have been getting worse and worse, the companies seem to still be doing great. And there are some unique dynamics of these apps that make them especially prone to collapse and that can help us understand the mass exodus. Part of it is simply the fact that these apps promote the idea that they'll literally change your life. Hinge, for example, markets itself as the dating app designed to be deleted, which is an extremely big promise.
Yeah.
It's a promise that I personally, as a cynic, feel like isn't necessarily true.
Of course it's not true. Absolute fucking bullshit. Yeah, you're just saying that. Yeah, exactly. Met my wife on Hinge, been married 2.5 years now. Oh, there are a lot of people that have had success stories with dating apps. Like I know people that have personally. So it's not like it's uncommon, but it's not like it's also super common either.
Hinge is owned by a $9 billion company.
Yeah, of course it happens.
I don't think they want you to delete any of their apps. I should mention that I try to consult a variety of sources, and sometimes that leads you, especially with dating, down some uncomfortable rabbit holes. And so I want to maybe address a few preconceptions that people can often have after having had a bad experience with dating apps. They're not an enjoyable experience for anyone, regardless of gender identity. Around 80% of women report feeling some level of burnout, and around 74% of males report feeling some kind of burnout as well.
Oh, yeah. People always do this thing where it's like women have it so easy on dating apps and like men have it so hard. Which is like, yes, this is true. Women, it's easy to have sex. Basically, for a woman, it's hard to have sex, or it's easy to have sex, but it's hard to have a relationship. And for guys, it's very hard to even have sex. So like women go on there looking for relationships, but it's just a bunch of guys that want to fuck them. And then men go on there looking for sex, but it's just a bunch of single moms that want you to pay for their kids. So it's just like, basically, you're there, but you're looking for you're not getting the thing you're looking for, right? I'm a hardcore player? Yeah, that's what it is. So true? I guess so.
The unenjoyable experience is pretty evenly split across the aisle. We have some very different problems that occur, but no set of problems is one more significant than the other. Interestingly enough, men outnumber women 3-1 on Bumble and Tinder, and yet women report higher rates of negative experiences. That's not to invalidate the fact.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot of guys that are just trying to hook up with girls, and that's it. Yeah, obviously. Like, duh. Yeah, of course. Women have more experiences, yeah.
That men obviously have incredibly high rates of negative experiences, but rather to emphasize the fact that nobody enjoys the experience of dating apps. The grass isn't greener on anyone's side. Men are far more likely to experience feelings of rejection, feelings of being ignored, whereas it seems like the issues that women report are more, well, they're different. They're different at least, right? So a 2023 survey found that over half of women under 50 who'd used dating apps had been sent a sexually explicit message that they didn't ask for, which
I'm amazed that it's not higher. As I said, if you're a guy and you can stop yourself from sending unsolicited messages with pictures of your dick to a girl, you've automatically beat out 20% of guys. You've already beat them. If you could stop yourself from sending pictures of your dick to people, you're already in the top 80%. Like 40, maybe. Right? I mean, to be fair, it's just one guy. I mean, to be fair, it's one guy showing the same dick to like 30 different girls. So yeah, it's 50%, but like that 50% only comes from maybe 20 or 10% of guys. You know, it's
I
just
think it's an
copy
insanely
paste.
high statistic. But generally, the issues that lead people to feel burnt out
Dick
are
spam.
more broadly the failure to find a good connection, being ghosted, being lied to,
Yeah.
feeling rejected, and having boring or not substantive.
So is it actually true that like on dating apps there'll be like people that use photos of themselves that are like really old? And to be fair, like I actually do this. Yes, it is true. Like this photo, I took this picture when I was, I think, 25. Maybe even before then. So like this picture's almost 10 years old. Yeah, it's iconic now though. It is. I and like now I can't change it. But yeah, no, I get it. So I guess I'm doing the same thing, guys. It's common on these apps. Have you guys ever gone on, I'm just going to say it. Have you guys ever gone on a date with a girl and then she's over 50 pounds heavier in real life than she is in her photos? Has this happened? Man, it happened to me twice. Both times I just left. Bro doesn't want to jump on a grenade. That's crazy. I saw there was a photo of like a picture, and it was like apparently it doesn't show you the photograph of a person, but it shows a blurred version of it. And it said this girl matched with you, and the girl was really fat. It was obvious that she was really fat just based off of like the silhouette. And the caption said, even in the fog of war, a tank is visible. And I just like, bro, I saw it. Yeah, I lost my fucking shit, man. This is so fucking funny. Destruction, yes. I don't know where it is. I gotta find that fucking shit. It's on my phone somewhere. Yes. Oh my god. I started working at this company. I was talking to people with teams. Certain photos, they came up to me at the office, didn't know who they were because they were both fat and old. So there was this guy. So there's like one of these, like, you know, you guys have like your Better Call Saul, like local lawyers. Well, one of them was at my fucking gas station. And it was like a photo of the guy, right? And it's like, you know, he's like this, you know, like really, you know, like established, like Hispanic man, you know, like very well manicured, you know, black hair, you know, firm face, you know, he's going to fight for you, etc. I go into the store, I see some fat, old, gray-haired man buying scratch-offs. He's got like 5 of them in his fucking hand. It's like, you son of a bitch. You really doing this? And I could see his car parked there. Yeah, peak male, yeah. The guy, that photo was taken in 1996.
Conversations. Now, let's maybe understand a bit more about the user experience and what kind of leads to these super high rates of dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
And whether dating apps are actually benefiting from this or not. Because it seems like they aren't benefiting from this huge level of dissatisfaction that people are experiencing. I want to explain a little term from economics called adverse selection. Planet Money wrote a little piece explaining how adverse selection might be an important factor in understanding why dating apps have gotten so bad lately.
Yeah.
It's possible that dating apps face adverse selection. Basically, a new app starts up and hopeless romantics looking for real love begin flocking to it. But so do sleazy types who lie on their dating profile. Over time, the earnest daters go on a bunch of bad dates, encountering people who have no interest in real relationships or whose profiles
and this is a problem like a lot of guys have, is that they don't understand what would I call it? The vocabulary, which are the words that women use on dating apps to make something sound like something else. And so there's a lot of, they're supposed to, right? And so the issue is that a lot of people don't understand how to watch out for like different problems, right? There's slangs, exactly. Like for example, real man, treat me like a princess. Let's see, boy mama, yeah, this can mean a lot of things. Quote from Taylor Swift. Or anybody else like that. Passenger, yeah, I was thinking about this, by the way. Okay. God, this is going to sound really bad. This could be taken in such a really bad way. I have never dated a girl that had a driver's license. All of their ages started with 2. Okay? And there were 2 digits, by the way. And is that a red flag from it? I guess so. Hey, now you know why I prefaced it. Okay? Yep, that's see? Say a game? Yeah. Clip that out of context? Yeah, there you go. Let's see what the rest of this is. But yeah, why didn't they have car licenses? A lot of reasons. And yeah.
Are completely misleading. Like lemons driving good cars out of the used car market.
Yep.
Maybe sleazeballs push great catches out of dating apps and ultimately ruin the quality of the whole app experience. So people go to a new app in the hopes of finding something better, and the cycle starts again.
That's
this idea
true.
of adverse selection is basically the idea that people can take advantage of, the meta on dating app to promote themselves as something they're not, and ultimately lead honest, well-intentioned users to feel like the apps don't have any other honest users because they're only interacting with people who know how to game the app.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course, because that's what people are going to do, right? It makes sense. It's the same as like botting in video games. Like whenever a game first comes out, there's no botting. But then later on, people design bots and then they start cheating. Yeah, of course that happens. You need a birth certificate? Yeah, clearly, right? Predator-prey equilibrium? Yeah, sure.
This whole idea of, hinge hacks or using AI tools to beat the system.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily make you a better person on a date, but makes you more representative of what the market supposedly looks like to someone who's just downloaded the app.
Well, it's everybody that does that thinks that the reason why they're not getting matches is because it's like some sort of algorithm thing. Like, oh, well, I'm not in the algorithm, so that means, like that's why I'm not getting matches.
And it makes people who download the app feel like everyone is awful.
Yeah.
There is a way to actually minimize these bad apples. This is something that's actually been done before. If you can give the users as much information as you can, they can make more informed decisions, right? That's intuitive. However, the more information you provide to those users, the harder it makes for the app to be gamified because they can't rely on the fact that you don't know things about other people. This is most clearly shown.
That's actually a really good point. That's actually a great fucking point. Yeah. So it's in their best interest to not show you information about the other person so they can paywall it.
In the fact that Hinge's premium program, Hinge Plus and Hinge X, they both allow you to actually add more information about yourself. They allow you to filter your dates by location, by activity, and to fine-tune exactly what you're looking for, which inevitably leads to a better dating experience.
Of course.
And reduces this problem of adverse selection. And this isn't just theoretical. We can take the example of OkCupid, which has actually gone through a bit of a transformation from being a dating app that dealt with this problem of bad apples a lot better than the new school of dating apps.
And there's also apparently girls, so I hear that girls use dating apps to just sell subscriptions of OnlyFans. Is that true? Like they basically aren't even looking for a date. They're just looking to promote their OnlyFans. Is this true? And Instagram? Yeah. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's nuts. Or escorting? That's true. Yeah, it could just also be escorting, right? It's like this girl that's like, oh yeah, I just do OnlyFans and I'm here to promote it. Oh wow, I matched with somebody that has a $500 a month plan? Yeah, let's see what he's doing.
Actually becoming another Tinder clone. I found this comment
it's a good
someone
point.
Who described their experience, and I think it captures quite well what's going wrong with these apps. OkCupid used to be really great before they were sold off to Match. Match is the company that owns Tinder and Hinge and all of the other ones. It was a pretty simple concept that worked really well. Start people off by forcing them to answer at a minimum like 25 matching questions around things like politics, religion, handling money, hygiene, etc. Core factors that people would consider when dating, essentially. But the kicker was that you also got to specify how you would like your potential match to respond to the same question. And you got to weight that response based on how much you cared about that particular question. After about 25 questions, you could always get a large enough sample size to match people, but it worked best at matching people that had answered over 100 questions each. It was
What
like
a surprise.
magic. Anyone with over an 80% match on that site always ended up being a surefire, amazing conversation.
Well, they had to get rid of that. Yeah. Well, then now you can't make any money off of them.
Person is describing without necessarily realizing is this idea of adverse selection, right? The idea that just by having more and more information about who your potential matches are in terms of their interests, their likes, their personality, you can basically make dating apps be fantastic. However, the issue with that is that they can become a bit too good, right? And you end up in the situation where every person you match with is actually a pretty good person, and you're therefore extremely likely to
Stop
quit the
using
app. The ideal situation for these apps is this weird middle ground where they want you to find someone you like, but not too often and not someone that you like too much, because then you delete the app. But they don't want you to have zero matches because that means that you'll delete the app super quickly. That's kind of the optimal model of a dating app. What's called
The thing is that he's completely right, because that's logically how they would make the most money. That's crazy. But yeah. Space, I guess that's evil as fuck.
Where you get a reward at an unpredictable interval, and you get a reward that's big enough every time to keep you chasing the next one.
36,000.
They're playing this like balancing game, and they're clearly not doing a very good job at it. When it comes down to it, ultimately, people want what they've always wanted, which is meaningful connection with others. And I think the real danger here is that people have been generalizing their experiences on dating apps as broader generalizations of how, quote unquote, society is today. And I think that's a big problem, because I would hope that most of us understand that, say, social media isn't necessarily a one-to-one representation of how people behave in real life.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I go to the store and I see girls there that have boyfriends that are fat and ugly all the time. And there's guys that have wives that are fat and ugly too. But there's plenty of fat and ugly people that are dating other people. Like, it happens all the time. But like, usually it's just, you go on an app, right? And people aren't going to see it that way. They're not going to have that viewpoint. Yeah, it's like, yeah, the girl's good looking. Yeah, exactly. I only date baddies and I'm fat and ugly. Hey, bro, like, that's it, man. Why not? Yeah, Keegan, 1 minute is to focus on yourself. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you talk about like what the best way to like attract somebody is. Like, there's like a million different things, a million different people, right? But like at the end of the day, yeah, there's plenty of people that have options like that. But if you're on a dating app, you're literally looking at everything at face value. So it just makes sense that that's where things are going to be reduced to. I had premium Tinder so I could see who liked me. I got matches every now and then. When I let the premium run out, within 2 days, I had 10 matches I couldn't see. They have crazy tricks at play. It's crazy how they can have all these different apps that are owned by the same conglomerate company that effectively act as like faux competition inside of a market. That's so fucking funny.
You took Twitter posts, for example, to be the representation of how everyone behaves in general, you'd be scared to go outside. If you took Instagram Reel comments, you'd think everyone was incredibly racist all of the time. It's an algorithmic mirage.
And if you looked at YouTube Shorts, you'd think that every woman is stupid. Yeah, no, I know that. That's absolutely true. Yeah, social media gives you a very distorted view of the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's an algorithmic mirage, right? These algorithms are so capable of building a mirage that makes you think that what they are showing you is simply a direct representation of what reality is, when it's been filtered through layers and layers of algorithms and psychology in order to fundamentally change how you interact with it. The good thing that we can take home from this is that people are ultimately voting with their wallets, which is by far one of the most effective ways you can actually create change. There's a big trend, you might have seen it, of run clubs now, A lot of people are joining run
Running
clubs
clubs.
in order to find love. And this
See, that's smart, because who is it that can't run? That's crazy, huh? Man. How about that?
to me is ultimately a good thing. It means that people are actually choosing to create their own alternatives, which is exactly what we need right now. There is many, many angles you can approach this from, but ultimately the biggest reason they're doing so badly is that they're not providing the service that they promised. The collapse of dating apps doesn't mean the collapse of romantic love. It means that it's actually going to spread a bit more towards the places where it needs to be, towards these organic spaces. But then again, I'm also incredibly single, so take my words with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to my opinions on this kind of stuff too much, right? Let's be honest. Best dating advice? I mean, like, I think just try to talk to women like people and not like something that you're trying to have sex with. Like, that'd be my only real, like, yeah, just try to treat people like people and take an interest in what they're saying and talking about, and don't send them unsolicited pictures of your dick. Like, that would be, like, I would say those things would really help out a lot, right? Being not cringe, yeah, exactly, right? It's that simple. Oh my god. Let me see here. And Talon's that? Yeah, there you go. And the problem is, how do you create a dating app that's financially incentivized to lose customers when they find a match? I think that people can't expect a for-profit company to exist for their best benefit. And if you expect that, you're going to fuck yourself over. So yeah, like, I don't think you should try to do that. Like, you should try to use it as a tool, but you should compartmentalize its use as it being a tool and not expect it to change your life or do anything crazy like that. So yeah, I'll link you guys to video. I agree with a lot of what he's saying. And like, yeah, it's crazy how, like, basically they make money off of not giving you information that would help you find a date more easily. Yeah, this guy makes great videos. I've watched a few of them before, and I think they're really good. The running club seems like a good idea. The running club is actually such a 5-head idea. It's insane. Yeah, I love it.